All right, Thanksgiving is just around the corner and I have an amazingly delicious, homemade from scratch cornbread stuffing. It is gluten and dairy free, so let's get in the kitchen. Okay, so I actually have leftover cornbread from a chili cook-off that we did. So I am just gonna show y'all, look, this is real life all the time over here. But this gluten dairy free cornbread recipe has been my go-to for several years now. So this was a double recipe. So I did 2 cups, like I doubled everything, 2 cups of cornmeal, 2 cups of oat flour. For the oat flour, I just put actual rolled oats in my Vitamix and turn it into a flour real quick. But there you go. If you need to screenshot it or write it down in your own beautiful handwriting. And obviously you do not have to cook it in a cast iron skillet. It's beautifully delicious in a cast iron skillet, but here I just used an aluminum foil pan. And I did also want to show y'all right now, I'm not actually using like traditional cornmeal because it is nearly impossible to find non-GMO cornmeal in like any grocery store that is not in like a tiny portion and just doesn't work for my family. So I found some masa harina that you can actually use instead of cornmeal. This is what I found. I found this at HEB. They have I said harina, which I don't know what the difference is, honestly. This is masa brosa. It is organic, which means that it's going to be non-GMO. And the only thing in it is the corn, water, and lime. So it seems like it makes it a little bit more bready than cornmealy because it is really fine. It's basically corn flour instead of cornmeal, but for all intents and purposes, it works just fine. And I love that it's organic, non-GMO. I know that making the homemade cornbread is one additional step, but if you're looking to have clean ingredients this Thanksgiving and you're wanting to eat just the best quality foods for your body, then it's definitely so much better than like the little jiffy mixes that you see. Okay, so to get started, you're going to need to dice 1 onion. And then you're going to scrub up some carrots. Do not peel them, you guys, if you're wanting optimal nutrition. Most fruits and vegetables have a concentrated, like the nutrients are concentrated around the skin area. So I just scrub them really good. And then I'm going to chop them up all kind of small into pieces like that and put them in my little food processor and mix them on up. Alright, so I just added the carrots in with my onions. I'm just going to let them saute for quite a while, soften up, kind of caramelize, get some delicious flavors. In the meantime, I'm going to mix up my sausage. Did I forget to tell you? It's sausage cornbread and it's delicious. Okay, so I'm actually going to be using this ground beef and pork blend only because I got an amazingly good deal on it, and I'm going to use just 1 pound of this. But you can use any type of like regular pork and then make your own like with spices, or get some Italian pork sausage. Just be careful. A lot of Italian sausage has all kinds of added ingredients. So I do like to make my own: parsley, basil, salt, pepper, onions, garlic, paprika, and fennel if you have it, but I don't. It'll still be delicious. Now we're just going to mix it all up, make sure and remove any rings. I had to take my wedding ring off. And you're just going to mash it all together and season up that pork. There we go, homemade Italian sausage. I always just push aside my veggies, add the meat in the center, and we're gonna brown that up. All right, so while this is cooking up, I've got some helpers in the kitchen. We're just gonna crumble up our cornbread. Just grab a piece and crumble it on up. Right, you said you want to turn? It's super easy and super fun. One of my favorite things, I do love getting the kids in the kitchen. It's not always the easiest thing if you are a control freak a little bit like me, but it's so good for them to just feel part of the family, to help out and to get some really great life skills. I also got a helper over here with some potatoes. This is for maybe mashed potatoes. Who knows? Something delicious.
Another helper.
And what are you doing to help?
You tell me.
Okay, I like it. We're all getting in on the action. Is it fun, Josiah?
Yeah.
All right, so now that all the cornbread is ready, we're going to add in some poultry seasoning, about a tablespoon. I really like the poultry seasoning. If you don't prefer it, you can go less, and I add in some additional sage. Here we go. We've got the seasonings all in there. Amaya's going to pour in some whisked eggs. We're going to add 2 to 3 eggs, depending on how big your casserole is going to be. Pour it on in there, baby girl. There we go. We're going to mix that together. along with the meat and veggie mixture, and then add in some chicken broth.
Okay.
We're adding in those yummy veggies and sausage, and gonna mix it all up together. We're just gonna add in 1.5 cups to 2 cups of chicken broth, depending on if you want it a bit more dry or a bit more moist. Then you'll just add it into a 9x13 pan, and I actually like to drizzle a little more chicken broth over the top before I put it in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes. And there you go, it makes a delicious addition to a beautiful, nourishing Thanksgiving meal. Stick around for more healthy, clean eating recipes this Thanksgiving. Y'all have a very blessed day.